Hello and welcome to another video. We meet here because I need to change the tires on this car because it is a bit bumpy and they're worn out, and I hit a big pothole and now I've got this wonky wheel which is bump 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 bump. It has wonkiness in it. Okay, I'm now gonna lift the rear wheel to show you exactly what I'm talking about.
What I'm talking about.
Talking about.
What I'm talking about.
Okay. Let's get the jack. We're gonna quickly lift it up and I'll show you. Let's see. You can see there how damaged the wheel is. Maybe just stop for a minute. See that bump? Boom, 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 boom. That's what's making the car bumpy. So let's try and catch that bump. Okay, so, whee. See? Bump, 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 bump. Now you see what I'm talking about. And it's all thanks to that fine pothole. There. You can see how messed up my wheel is. All thanks to that one little pothole. So this was the pothole that made my wheel wonky. As you can see there, it's quite a big one. And it's been marked, so I don't know whether it's from previous or something. I'm not sure, but it's quite deep. It could fit all my shoe in there easily. So thank you, Herefordshire Council, for keeping up the good work for my wonky wheel. There's wonkiness in it. So today's video is going to be about changing the tires on this car. So I'm going to show you how to unmount the tires from the wheels by hand and how to mount them by hand as well. Let's go. Yes, you heard me right. I'm gonna unmount the tire and I'm gonna mount back the new tire on this by hand. So the reason why I'm doing this is just because I can, and I just wanted to check whether it's still easy to unmount and mount the tire by hand, because the last time I did it I was like 15 or something maybe. And yeah, let's go. Then you might want to save some money on, you know, swapping the tire, you know, in the garage, but I don't think you're gonna save a lot, because I think to swap the tire and balancing is 10 quid per tire, you know, per wheel. So you might take off 5 you know, just leave balancing if you do it yourself, but bear this in mind if you want to do it. You will damage the alloy doing so. I'm not a professional, I'm not an expert at this, but I don't care about this alloy. That's why I can do it. If you care about your alloy, don't do it. Oh look, there's a little bit of damage. Oh, there's more damage. Scratches, look at them scratches. See? I don't care about these wheels, so they're gonna be my daily driver wheels. I just want to make them a bit more beautiful than they are at the moment. And yeah, let's go. Let's change this tire. Okay, and first of all, what we need to do is let all the air out. If you haven't got air, that's fine, but if you've got air, you will need to let it out, because this will obstruct your most efficient way of changing the tire. Okay, so we'll take the valve out. I've got this handy little tool. No whistling. No whistling. Shush. Handy little tool. It cleans stuff. Boom, boom. It takes off different size of valves and that sort of valves. So we'll put it to one side. We're gonna need it later. Now the air is out. First of all, what you need to do is take the rubber rim off the alloy rim, because the alloy has like a little ridge, and the tire rim goes, if you imagine it's like that, it goes and it holds itself. So you need to push the tire off the rim first, this side and this side. It doesn't matter where you start, they both need to be pushed down so the tire is loose, so then you can manipulate it and try and take it off. So what I do first of all is get some WD-40 and step on that tire there somewhere and give it just a little spray so it gets nice and deep, and then what you do, you just step on it. That will get the WD-40 run in all the cracks. See? And that will allow you to step on this tire, and without too much resistance it will fall. So now we've manipulated the tire. WD-40 is now lubricated where it needs to lubricate. Now you step on it, maybe both legs like that, and just press down. When you've got enough pressage, then you kick the tire like that. Kick it, and that's one side done. Okay, so now what we need to do is do the other side. But before we do that, I'm gonna take this side of the tire onto the rim, just to protect the rim, because we need protection on the rim, don't forget. No, I'm joking. It'll just, because the wheel is domed a little bit, so it's gonna wobble. So I'm just gonna put this tire on, so they'll, you know, make it stable for when I do the other side, so it's not gonna wobble. So that's the tool that I bought especially for this. It was 13 quid, and I'm gonna show you what it does. You push it in there, that's what it does. So then you can allow for this thing to stay in there like that, and that will hold the tire, and then push it in and just lift, as you can see there. So now we've got another crowbar, which now is gonna hold this bit of tire like so, and you carry on to take it out. So like I said, as you can see, the alloy is getting damaged, but I could not care less about that, because, as I said, these are daily drivers and I don't care about them. Because when I was doing this back in my days, there was none of this fanciness, alloy wheels and stuff. Nobody knew we could make wheels for automobiles from aluminium. Who would have thought of that? No one. And now look at me, changing the old way, the aluminium alloy wheel. Okay, let's grab that last bit of tire and lift it out. There we go. And lift like so. There. That's it. Beautiful. See? Half of the job is done. Now we put it there. Look, it's stable. Now we can stand on it. Whew. And do exactly the same we did with the front of the tire. Now sometimes it's easier to cut up the tire just to give you a little bit more of that, you know, leverage. So the tire is holding this rim as a whole. So if you release a little bit of that pressure by cutting it like so, this should release enough for you to hook on there and take it off the rim. Now let's try it. Let's see if it helps. It does certainly help. Yes. So if I press a little bit in there, see, that is already going. There we go. Easy peasy. So now we just need to take the last bit out of the tire, final stage. Mwah. And then we can start mounting on the new one. Okay, so what you do is lift it up again into this gap, see, which will allow you a lot more leverage to take out the wheel, whereas if you had there, you don't have much movement. So here, see how much movement. So you lift it up, so it's nice and up, and then again with this beautiful tool, you just hook it up. Where's my other crowbar? Hook it up like that, and you probably don't even need to do anything else. You just rip the tire off. Let's see if that's achievable, like so. Now I'm stepping on the tire and pulling it at the same time. Now I need to hook another one. So let's hook another one. It's hooked. Now we just need to counterleave it like so, and that should go now. There we go. See? A little bit of damage to the wheel. I don't care. So, whew. I'm all red and stuff, pink. So that's how you unmount the tire. Let's put that over there. Let's have these, put them over there so I don't lose them. Put this there. So and now I'm going to show you how to mount the tire. This tire, possibly using these items that we saw earlier. So what you will need for mounting the tire, extra to what we had before, is a little bit of soapy water. I've made this brew with a little bit of soap and a little bit of washing fluid, a little bit of water. It's a perfect mixture. It runs and it's very slippery. So let's begin. So mounting the tire, as I said, this thing is important, because if you go through this side you will have a lot of trouble putting the tire on. So that's why you've got this little groove here, which will allow for the inside to stretch more to go over the other side. So what we do in life echoes in eternity. So soapy water engaged. Beautiful soapy water. Let's just get that little bit on there. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so now you need to see if the tire has a inside and an outside. Luckily on mine it's even outline there, see? Outside and inside. So bear that in mind, because it's all to do with the wear, and it's all to do with how it dissipates the water from the tire. So it is important. Outside. So the outside goes on the outside, so it's gonna be like that. So that's why you lubricate this side. Lubricate this side. That's the inside. It goes like that. And the thing to do to start you off is measure it like that and then slam the tire. That will put a lot of the tire on, as you can see there. And now you can push on it and it slips just right on. That's it. Beautiful. So now what you need to do is do the same for this side, and now you have to lubricate this side and a little bit on that rim, because it needs to go over it. So we're just gonna put it like that, because I'm gonna press with the knee, so I don't want to press on my lettering so I don't damage it. And then I'm gonna manhandle it into place. Okay, manhandling since 1969. Okay, soapy water. Here we go. Now you just press, slip and slide, and you can see that this rim here, rubber rim, falls into that channel, which allows you more pull over this side. So if you've done it correctly, it should just be a slide on. So let's hold it. Let's not let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Very slippery, and boop. There we go. That's the main bit done. Mounted the tire. So as you can see, we've got inside and outside beautifully. Now all we have to do is to inflate it. But because I've put a little bit of stretch on this tire, it's a bit loose on the rim. So what you do in this sort of scenario is wipe a little bit of that soapy water, because we're gonna explode some gases in the tire, which will force the tire onto the rim. And if it's gonna be slippery, you know, soapy, it might just fall off, because as soon as the explosion happens, a vacuum is created and that sucks the tire up. So if this rim is all slippery, it'll just suck the tire off, and it'll undo what you just done. So let's wipe some of that soapy water now. Let's get in there and clean all that soapy water off, or as much as you can. Maybe just even drying it will be enough. I purposefully made it a little bit more viscous, you know. I put less what's it called? The washing liquid, the soap. I put less soap. So it's a bit runny, not so runny, but runny, so I can just wipe it off. So now this side is pretty much dry. Now if we do another side, we might even We might even push it on. Well, we'll probably need to explode it. Because it's always better to explode. It's just more fun. A lot more fun. Okay. Try this. Beautiful. And dry a little bit of tire. Nearly dry. One more. Round and round. There we go. Pretty. Now see it's loose. It doesn't hold. So there's no way to inflate it, but you need to sort of create a little, either a very sudden boost of air, but I doubt it because it's a tiny hole, or an explosion. And in this case we're gonna go with the explosion because, as I said, it's more fun. So for that we're gonna need some sort of gas to put in the tire and maybe inflate it, so that would create our little explosion, so we can finish with this tire. So what we need is some gas, as I said, and I've got this gas, which is Meng gas, and I've got this cheaper gas, which is again Meng gas, but I don't know which is more explosive. So the best way, I think, to test is just to test it, which is more explosive. And to test that, we're just gonna test the flame, which creates more flame and more hotter flame. Okay, so that creates a flame, yeah. And now let's see how much a flame this creates. Oh, this looks a lot better. It's cheaper, but it probably even has more, you know, because it's fuller. It has more pressure inside it, and this one is nearly empty. So we're gonna go with this gas, which is a 48-hour gas, 0 alcohol. Okay, and what you do is get some of that gas inside the tire. And getting it right is not easy, as I've tried. It's almost like you don't want to create a big explosion, but you want it to be enough, you know, to put the tire on. So it's just trial and error. I've over the years, I think that's the good amount, and just leave it for air to circulate and then inflate it. And that's how you fix the tire. And you can see straight away it's buckling, because that creates a vacuum and it just sucks. So now what you need to do is inflate it, and you inflate it with this. So just take it off there, pop, and then inflation. Oh. And I think this one will be done, and we will see what the camber looks on the tire when we inflate it and put it up to the original tire that we took off. I'm just gonna probably take the wheel off to show you what they look like next to each other. You know, I'm gonna take one of the old ones off to show you. Inflating, still inflating. Very good. I think that was the right amount. If you leave it just for a second, that might not create a flame that vicious and that powerful. But if you leave it for like a second or two, you know, get that air circulating in it, then it creates a lot more boom. Okay, so now the tire is inflated and that is done. Let's see now what the camber looks like. And I think it looks amazing. Yes, it's beautiful. That tiny bit of tire is just a little bit narrower, and it just gives that round look of the tire. It just looks awesome for not a lot of money at all. Okay, so let's get another tire, the original one, and we'll see the difference. So here's a tire that looks exactly the same that we just took off, and we will now see the level of improvement on the tire. So that's what I've got on the car now, and that's what it's gonna look like. See? Boring, interesting. Boring, interesting. Boring, interesting. I think so. And you can see when I put them next to each other, this one the original width, and this is what we get, the stretching of the tire, that is called. And I think it looks good. This one, it just looks dull. This one looks awesome. Yes, this looks awesome. Now let's finish all of them up and let's put it on the car.